Welcome to Numbers World. Today we are going to solve past papers of ICATs Mathematics contest of year 2018 for grade 9 and 10. Question number 1. The picture shows the beginning of a racetrack for a toy car. Which graph models the estimated speed of the toy car as it moves through the racetrack? The speed of the car is 0 at starting point, which is shown in option B and C. So option A and D are incorrect because here the speed of the car is more than 0 at starting point, which is wrong. So when car will go downwards, the speed of the car will increase automatically, which is shown in option B and C both. In this area, the speed of the car will decrease. After crossing this point, the car will move downwards and its speed will increase. As this is the highest point of the racetrack, so after that when car will move downwards, it will attain its maximum value because its speed will be maximum while crossing this part. The speed of the car will decrease in this area again. When car will move downwards from here, the speed of the car will increase again. So we can say the speed of the car gradually increases, then start decreasing, attains its minimum value, then again start increasing more quickly, attains its maximum value, again decreases, then tend to increase, which is shown in option B. So the graph given in the option B models the correct estimated speed of the toy car. Question number 2. On multiplying a number by 7, the product is a number each of whose digits is 3. The smallest such number is. Here we can multiply all the options by 7 and check the answers. Let's multiply our option A 47,619 by 7. That is equal to 333,333. That is actually the smallest number whose each digit is 3 because rest of the options are greater than the first option. So obviously they will produce the bigger answer than this. So option A is the correct one. Question number 3, Misha asked 10 different co-workers how many people and pets are living in their homes. She used the responses to create the scatter plot shown. Which statement about the numbers of people and pets living in the homes of Misha's 10 co-workers is true? Option A is as the number of people living in the home increases, the number of pets increases. So if we look at our x-axis, which is representing the number of people, and go from 2 to 3, the number of pets is decreasing from 5 to 1. So option A is incorrect. Option B is as the number of people living in the home increases, the number of pets decreases. So if we go from 3 to 5, the number of pets is increasing from 4 to 6. So option B is also incorrect. Option C is as the number of people living in the home decreases, the number of pets decreases. So here if we go from 3 to 2, the number of pets is increasing from 1 to 5. So option C is also not right. Last option is there is no relationship between the numbers of people and pets living in the home. So option D is the correct one. Clearly there is no relationship between number of people and number of pets. Question number 4 is which model is not a function? For the model to be a function, every element of domain must be included, which is correct for option A, B, and D. But if we look at our option C, only one element of the domain is used here. So option C is not the model of a function. Question number 5. Jury surveyed 80 people about whether they prefer blueberry or cherry pie and whether they prefer the pie with or without ice cream. The results are shown in the table below. Which conclusion can be made based on the results shown in the table? Let's calculate the total first. The sum of the blueberry pie with and without ice cream is equal to 44. And to find out the sum of cherry pie, we will add 24 and 12, that is equal to 36. So total is equal to 80 if we add 44 and 36. Now let's check all our options one by one. Option A is about 1 by 3 of the people prefer pie without ice cream. So we know the total is equal to 80. So now let's calculate the sum of the pie without ice cream. For that, we will add these two numbers here, 15 and 12. The sum is equal to 27. We will divide this 27 by the total number of pies, that is 80. The answer is 0.3375, which is approximately equals to 1 by 3. So option A is our expected answer, but let's verify the other options as well. The B is there are 2 times as many people who prefer blueberry pie to cherry pie. So sum of the blueberry pie is 44 and the cherry pie is 36. That is wrong because 44 is not 2 times of 36. Option C is fewer people prefer cherry pie with ice cream than blueberry pie without ice cream. The number for the cherry pie with ice cream is 24 and the number for blueberry pie without ice cream is 15. So option C is also incorrect because 24 is not fewer or less than 15. The last option is the ratio of the people who prefer blueberry pie to cherry pie is equivalent to the ratio of the people who prefer pie with ice cream to pie without ice cream. So let's calculate the ratio of blueberry pie to cherry pie. We know that the total number of blueberry pies with and without ice cream are 44 and the sum of cherry pie is 36. So simplified ratio of blueberry pie to cherry pie is 11:9. Let's calculate the ratio of pie with ice cream to pie without ice cream. So pie with ice cream is equal to 29 plus 24, that is equal to 53, and the sum of the pies without ice cream is equal to 27 if we add 15 and 12. The ratio is 53:27, which is not equivalent to 11:9. So option D is also incorrect. Only option A is the correct one. Question number 6, a geometric shape on the left side of the solid line can be made to fit onto the geometric shape on the right side of the solid line by option A is translation. That is not correct over here because translation is the movement of the same shape from one place to another or from one point to another point. Option B is enlargement. Both the shapes are of same size. There is no difference between the sizes of the shape. So that's why option B is not right here. Option C is rotation. If we take the shape given on the left side and rotate it clockwise, we don't get the shape on the right side at any point. So C is also incorrect. Last option, reflection, is the correct one because if we flip the shape given on the left side horizontally, or if we take the mirrored image of this shape, we will get the shape given on the right side of the solid line. So last option is the correct one. Question number 7, in a certain store, the profit is 320% of the cost. If the cost increases by 25% but the selling price remains constant, approximately what percentage of the selling price is the profit? If the cost is 100, the profit is 320. So the selling price will be 100 plus 320, that is equal to 420. The cost has increased by 25%. So the increased cost is equal to 125. We will subtract it out of 420 to calculate the profit. That is 295. Now let's calculate the percentage profit by dividing 295 by 420 and multiply the fraction by 100. That is equal to 70.23, which is approximately 70%. So option B is the correct one. The profit is 70% of the selling price. Question number 8, study this growing pattern. If you grow this pattern further, the next diagram will be, we can see that there is a white square in the center and then there are blue triangles around it. Then white triangles, and after that again blue triangles. As a next step, there should be white triangles after the blue ones. So option C is the correct one. Question number 9, the wheels on Bill's bicycle each have a radius of 35 centimeters. Which of the following is closest to the distance the bicycle moves along the ground in one complete revolution of the wheels? So we know that one revolution is equal to 2 pi r. So that is 2 multiplied by the value of the pi, which is 3.14, multiplied by the radius 35. The answer is equal to 219.8, which is approximately 220. So option D is the correct one. Question number 10. Two families buy refreshments at a concession stand. Each drink costs $D. Each snack costs $S. The Blake family buys 3 drinks and 2 snacks for $12. The Reese family buys 2 drinks and 4 snacks for $16. What is the cost of one drink at the concession stand? So drinks are represented by D and S is representing the snacks. As Blake family bought 3 drinks and 2 snacks for $12, so we will write our first equation like this. For Reese, The equation is 2d plus 4s is equal to 16. Now we have to find out the values of the missing variables. So we will multiply our equation 1 by 2 to make the coefficients of s same. So new equation is 3 2s are 6, 2 2s are 4 and 12 2s are 24. Now we are going to subtract our equation 2 out of equation 3. 4s is cancelled with 4s, 6d minus 2d is equal to 4d, and 24 minus 16 is 8. So if we divide 8 by 4, the value of the d is 2. It means the cost of each drink is $2. That is our option A. Question number 11. A computer software package is sold to small business clients. The total cost of the software package is $500 for the first 10 computers on which the software is installed, plus $20 for installation on each additional computer. Which statement best describes the function that models the relationship between the number of computers on which the software is installed and the cost of the software? If n is the number of the computers and it is greater than 10, then the equation will be the installation cost is equal to 500 plus 20n. Let's check all our options one by one. Option A is it is a constant linear function for 10 or fewer computers and an exponential function for more than 10 computers. The first part of the statement is correct because $500 are fixed charges for installing softwares in 10 computers or less than 10. But the second part of the statement is not correct because there is no exponential function in the equation. Option B is it is an increasing linear function for 10 or fewer computers. This part of the statement is incorrect because $500 are fixed. There is no increase or decrease in it. So option C is it is a constant linear function for 10 or fewer computers and an increasing linear function for more than 10 computers. Both parts of the statement are correct because $500 are the fixed charges for installing the software in 10 or less than 10 computers. And for the increasing value of n, or in other words, for the more than 10 computers, the software installation cost will also increase. So option C is the correct one. Question number 12. The first term in a sequence is 24. Each term in the sequence after the first term is equal to half the previous term plus 4. Which of the following statements best describes the terms in the sequence as it progresses? So let's find out the other terms of the sequence. The first number is 24. Then if we take half of 24 and add 4 into it, the answer is 16. Similarly, we can find out the other terms of the sequence by following the same procedure. Take half of the previous term and add 4 into it. Now let's check all our options. Option A is the terms get closer to 8. That is the possible correct option because 9 is closer to 8. But let's check the rest of the options as well. Option B is the terms get closer to 12. That is incorrect. C is the terms increase at a constant rate. So it's not correct because terms are not increasing. The last option is the terms decrease at a constant rate. Yes, the terms are decreasing but not at a constant rate because there is a different number between the terms. So option A is the correct one. Question number 13. A green can and a silver can are each in the shape of a right circular cylinder. The cans have the same radius but the height of the green can is 3 times the height of the silver can. What is the ratio of the volume of the green can to the volume of the silver can? The volume of the silver can be written as pi r square h, and the volume of the green can is equal to pi r square 3h because its height is 3 times the height of silver can. Now we can calculate the ratio by dividing volume of the green can by volume of the silver can. That is equal to pi r square 3h divided by pi r square h. Here pi, r square and h are cancelled, so we are left with 3 by 1. That can be written as 3:1. So the ratio of the volume of the green can to volume of the silver can is 3:1. That is option D. Question number 14. Which of the following represents the combined design when figure ABC is rotated 180 about the origin to produce rotation symmetry? We can see in option A, the figure is translated, not rotated. So option A is not correct. In option B, the figure is rotated about the y-axis, and in option C, the figure is rotated about point C. So that's why option B and C also incorrect. And If we rotate the figure 180 degrees about the origin, the new figure will be in the third quadrant, which is in our option D. So this is the correct one. Question number 15. To fill a tank, 25 buckets of water is required. How many buckets of water will be required to fill the same tank if the capacity of the bucket is reduced to 2/5 of its present? 2/5 is equal to 2 by 5. So as we have to calculate the number of the buckets, so equation can be written like this: 25 divided by 2 by 5. As 2 by 5 is in the denominator, so we can expand the equation in this form. 5 will be multiplied by the numerator, that is 25, and the final fraction is 125 by 2, which is equal to 62.5. So 62.5 buckets are required to fill the same tank for the reduced capacity of the bucket. That is our option C. Question number 16. A dog trainer will use 320 feet of fence to create a rectangular training field. The graph below displays the relationship between the length in feet of the training field and the area in square feet of the training field. What is the length of the rectangular training field that has the greatest area? We can see in the graph the greatest area is 6400, and the length for 6400 is 80 feet, which is our option B. Question number 17. The circle graph below represents the number of cars in the parking lot and their colors. If 25% of the cars in the parking lot are white, how many cars in the parking lot are silver? According to the given information, 25% of the cars are white and 50 is the number which is representing 25%. If we want to calculate 1% of the data, we will divide 50 by 25, that is equal to 2. It means 2 cars are representing 1% of the pie chart or data. Now let's calculate the percentage of the other cars as well. Like there are 24 gray cars, we can calculate the percentage by dividing 24 on 2 and multiplying it by 100, that is equal to 12%. 36 is the number for black cars, so if I calculate the percentage, 18% of the data is represented by black cars. Red is representing 10% of the data and other cars are representing 19% of the data. As we know that 100% of the data is represented by pie chart, we will subtract all our percentages out of 100 to calculate the percentage of the silver cars, that is 16%. And we have calculated that 2 cars are representing 1%, so we will multiply 16 by 2, that is equal to 32. So option A is the correct one. There are 32 silver cars, which is the 16% of the data. Question number 18. Members of a gym recorded the number of sit-ups they did in 1 minute. The results are shown in the line plot below. Which of the following histograms best represents the data? There are 6 bars in each histogram. The first bar is representing the values from 25 to 26. On the line plot, we can see 1 cross at 25 and 1 on 26. The total is equal to 2. It means 2 values lie from 25 to 26. That is shown in option A and C. So we will not consider our option B and D. Now let's find out the value for second bar. There are 2 crosses at 27 and 3 at 28. Total is equal to 5, which is represented in option A and C both. Let's move towards the third bar. 5 crosses are at 29 and 5 at 30. The value is 10. So we can clearly see the third bar of option A is representing 10, whereas the value is 14 for the third bar of option C. So option A is the correct one, but let's verify the other values as well. After comparing the values and the bars given in the histogram, we can say the histogram given in option A is the best representation of the data. Question number 19. Find out the wrong number in the given sequence of numbers. So the rule is that we have to add prime numbers to the previous terms to get the next one. So if we add our first prime number, which is 2 into 125, the answer is equal to 127. Similarly, we will add the next prime numbers one by one to get the answers which are matching the sequence. Here last term is 165. That is wrong because it should be 166 if we add 13 into 153. So option D is the incorrect option. The last term should be 166. Question number 20. The areas of some bodies of water in Massachusetts are shown in the table below. The mean area of the 5 bodies of water is 214 acres. What is the area in acres of Kingsbury Pond? We know the formula of the mean is equal to total divided by 5. So total is equal to 5 to multiply by the mean. The value of the mean is already given, which is 214. So the total is equal to 1070 acres. Now we are going to subtract the areas of the bodies of the water out of the total. The answer is equal to 15. So we can say the area of the Kingsbury Pond is 15 acres, which is our option B. Question number 21. Jake measured the dimensions of a rectangular picture frame to the nearest inch. He found that the height was 16 inches and the width was 10 inches. Based on Jake's measurements, which of the following statements could be true? Option A is the actual width of the picture frame is 9.4 inches. Option B is the actual height of the picture frame is 16.5 inches. These two options are incorrect because width and height of the picture frame are already given. Option C is the actual perimeter of the picture frame is 50 inches. So let's calculate it. The formula of the perimeter is equal to 2 into h plus w. The value of height is 16 and the width is 10. So perimeter is equal to 52 inches, which is quite closer to 50 inches. So option C is our possible correct option, but let's check option D as well. The actual area of the picture frame is 175 square inches. Let's calculate the area. That is equal to 160 square inches. That is not closer to 175. So option C is the correct option. Question number 22. What on the food truck? He offers a selection of 8 types of sandwiches and 4 types of tacos. He will increase his selection of sandwiches by 1 per month. He will increase his selection of tacos by 2 per month. In how many months will VAT offer an equal number of sandwich and taco selections? So according to the criteria, we have to add 1 into types of sandwiches and 2 into types of tacos. After 1 month, he will offer 9 types of sandwiches and 6 types of tacos. Because here we had 8 types of sandwiches already. So 8 plus 1 is 9 and 4 plus 2 is equal to 6 tacos. After 2 months, the selection is that types of sandwiches equal to 10 and types of tacos is equal to 8. Similarly, after 3 months, he will sell 11 types of sandwiches and 10 types of tacos. At last, after 4 months, he will offer an equal number of sandwich and taco selections. So option B is the correct one. Question number 23. A sport wire is attached to a tree at a height of 9 feet. The wire is anchored to the ground as shown in the diagram below. Based on the dimensions in the diagram, what is the length in feet of the sport wire? We can see the diagram is a right angled triangle. The height of the triangle is 9 feet and base is 12 feet, whereas the value of hypotenuse is missing. So we will use Pythagoras theorem to find out the value of hypotenuse. The Pythagoras theorem is c square is equal to a square plus b square. As we have to find out the value of c, not c square, that's why we will take the square root on the other side of the equal. After putting the values in the equation and solving it, the value of the hypotenuse is 15. So we can say the length of the sport wire is 15 feet, which is our option B. Question number 24. The long-term parking rate at Raleigh-Durham Airport is $2 per hour or a part of an hour, with $10 daily maximum 12 a.m. to 12 a.m. Suppose you park your car on Friday afternoon at 8:30 p.m. and pick it up on the following Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. What will be your parking fee? From Friday 8:30 p.m. to 12 o'clock, there are 3 hours and 30 minutes. We know the parking fee for 1 hour or any part of an hour is $2. So we will multiply 4 by $2. So the parking fee for Friday is $8. Now, from Saturday 12 a.m. to Sunday 12 a.m., Sunday 12 to Monday 12 a.m., and Monday 12 to Tuesday 12 a.m., the maximum parking fee is $10 for each day. From Tuesday 12 a.m. to 9:30 a.m., there are 9 hours and 30 minutes, but the maximum parking fee after 5 hours is $10. So the similar amount is going to be charged for 9 hours and 30 minutes. Now we will calculate the total parking fee by adding all the numbers, that is equal to $48, which is our option C. Question number 25. In an arithmetic series, the terms of the series are equally spread out. For example, in 1 plus 5 plus 9 plus 13 plus 17, consecutive terms are 4 apart. If the first term in an arithmetic series is 3, the last term is 136, and the sum is 1390, what are the first 3 terms? Let's write the given information first. The first term is 3, that is represented by A1. L is representing the last term, which is 136, and sum of all the values is equal to 1390. Now we will write the formula of the sum of the arithmetic series, that is equal to n by 2 into A1 plus L. So let's put the values in the equation. Sum of the all values is 1390, n is unknown, and the first value is 3, last value is 136. So we will solve it to calculate the value of n, which is 20. It means there are 20 values in this arithmetic series. Now we have to calculate the difference between the series, so we will write formula here. A20 is the last term, and the value of the last term is given already, that is 136. A1 is 3 and n is 20. So 20 minus 1 is equal to 19. Now let's solve it for D. After all the calculations, the value of the D is 7. It means the difference between the terms is equal to 7. We know the first term of the arithmetic series is 3. To calculate the next term, we will add the value of the difference into first term. So first term is 3 and the value of the difference is 7. So 3 plus 7 is 10, which is our second term. Similarly, we will calculate the value of the third term by adding difference into second term. So here second term is 10 and difference is 7. Total is equal to 17. So option A is the correct one. The first 3 terms of the arithmetic series are 3, 10 and 17. Question number 26, Marcos says that the interior angles of a triangle add up to 180 degrees. He claims that the interior angles of a hexagon must add up to 360 degrees because a hexagon has twice as many vertices as a triangle and can be divided into 2 triangles. Therefore, its interior angles must sum to twice the value of those of a triangle. Which statement, if any, explains the Marcos error? Option A is a hexagon does not have 6 vertices. This is incorrect because a hexagon has 6 vertices. Option B is a hexagon can be divided into 4 triangles, not 2. This is also not right because a hexagon can be divided into more than 4 triangles, like it can be divided into 6 triangles. Option C is the interior angles of a triangle do not add up to 180 degrees, which is not correct because we know the sum of the interior angles of a triangle add up to 180 degrees. The last statement is Marco's statement is correct and contain no error. This is also incorrect because option B, a hexagon can be divided into 4 triangles, not 2, is related to Marco's statement and it explains the Marco's error. Here, all the options are incorrect, but option B is related to Marco's statement. So that's why we will choose option B here. Question number 27. A biologist tracks a number of bacteria living in a water tank. The biologist used a function that represents the amount of a certain chemical solution that is added to the water. When the water has no chemicals, the number of bacteria is 1200 per gallon. For each tablespoon of the chemical solution added to each gallon of water, the number of bacteria decreases by 75 per gallon. How much of the chemical in tablespoon must be added to a 500-gallon tank to reduce the bacteria count to a safe 300 bacteria per gallon? It is given in the question that there are 1200 bacteria per gallon and the safe count is 300 bacteria per gallon. So we will subtract the safe count out of the total, that is equal to 900. It means that we have to decrease 900 bacteria per gallon. Now, the second information that is given in the question is that 1 tablespoon of the chemical solution decreases 75 bacteria per gallon. To find out that how many tablespoons of the chemical solution are required to decrease 900 bacteria per gallon, we will divide 900 by 75, that is equal to 12. In other words, we may say that 12 tablespoons of the chemical solution decreases 900 bacteria per gallon. Now, to calculate the number of the tablespoons needed for a 500-gallon tank, we will multiply 12 by 500, that is equal to 6,000 spoons. So option B is the correct one. 6,000 tablespoons of the chemical solution must be added to a 500-gallon tank to reduce the bacteria count to a safe 300 bacteria per gallon. Question number 28. How many times in a day are the hands of a clock in straight line but opposite in direction? We will solve this question by using a clock face. If we start from 12, the opposite of 12 is 6. It means we are talking about half past 12. At half past 12, the hour hand will be in the middle of 12 and 1. To make a straight line, the minute hand should be somewhere in the middle of 6 and 7. So this is our first possible straight line. Similarly, we will find out the rest of the straight lines before 6 o'clock. In other words, we may say before 6 o'clock, the hands of the clock are in straight line 5 times. At 6 o'clock, the minute hand is exactly at 12 and the hour hand is exactly at 6. After 6 o'clock, these can be our possible straight lines. In one round trip from 12 a.m. to 12 p.m., hands are in straight line 11 times. For 24 hours, there are 2 round trips, so 11 times 2 is equal to 22. So option B is the correct one. We may say the hands of the clock are in straight line 22 times in a day. Question number 29. Matt and his 3 co-workers each weigh a package 3 times using different scales. The results are given in the table below. Which worker's scale yielded the least precise measurements? So names are written in the first column and then the measurements are written in the next 3 columns. After that, we have a column of range and mean. Mean is the centered value and there is not too much difference between the values of the means of all the co-workers. But if we look at the range is the difference between the maximum and minimum value. For Matt, the value of the range is more than the other co-workers. It means the difference between his maximum and minimum value is more than others. So in other words, we can say the Matt scale yielded the least precise measurements. So option A is the correct one. Question number 30. An airplane will fly from Middletown to Wilton. The pilot of the airplane wants to stop in no more than 2 cities between Middletown and Wilton. How many different ways can the pilot fly from Middletown to Wilton? So pilot doesn't want to travel more than 2 cities between Middletown and Wilton. If we include Middletown and Wilton, the minimum he wants to travel 3 cities and maximum 4 cities. Let's find out the routes. If he starts his journey from Middletown and goes to Jackson, then Wilton, in this way he will have to travel 3 cities. Another route is Middletown to Centerville, then Jackson, and at the end Wilton. So he will have to travel 4 cities in this way. If he starts his journey from Middletown to Centerville, then Trenton, and at the end he reaches to Wilton, that is also a suitable way for him because in this way again he has to travel 4 cities. The last route is Middletown to Jackson, then Trenton, and at the end Wilton. We will not include Pittman because if we add it, then he will have to travel more than 2 cities between Middletown and Wilton. So that's why there are only 4 ways he can fly from Middletown to Wilton. That is our option D. I hope you liked my video, so don't forget to like and comment on it and subscribe my channel. See you next time.